Okay, let's be honest, pitching brands every single day, it gets old really quickly. And the most wild part about it is most creators actually think this is the only way to land partnerships. But most creators who are booked month after month are not sending 47 cold pitches every single day. In reality, most of the brands are actually reaching out to them. So you're probably asking yourself, what are they doing differently? In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can attract those dream brands that you've been dying to work with so that they'll come to you instead of you always having to do the manual outreach. We're going to dive into the biggest reasons that brands maybe aren't reaching out to you as of right now, how to position yourself as a no-brainer partner, what brands are actually looking for when they're scouting creators, and how to really turn your profile and content into a magnet for brand partnerships. Plus, at the end of this video, I'll share my rates for brand partnerships with you in an effort to not gatekeep this information, because I know figuring out what to charge can be very confusing. Timestamps are down below. You can jump around however you need to, but let's jump right into it. So why are brands not reaching out to you as of right now? A lot of creators think that brands are only reaching out to these huge creators, but it's simply just not the truth. Most creators might not be getting the amount of inbound partnerships that they want, mostly because the brand is confused. They're looking at your profile and they're not really understanding who you are, who your audience is, what you're bringing to the table, what is your mission. If they're confused, it's going to be a really hard sell for them to actually reach out to you. And this is where your unique value proposition, or your UVP, comes into play. So what the heck is your UVP? This is really the one thing or multiple things that make you stand out as a creator versus the other creators that maybe you're kind of in competition with. This is the thing that helps brands really see you as a creator, where they're like, we need to work with this person. And there are a few different things that your UVP can really consist of. Number one is maybe your niche or your industry. What do you create content about? Is that really targeted? For example, for me, I create a lot of content for content creators about business, about money. And so when a brand who is maybe talking to creators about business or money comes across my page, it's kind of like a no-brainer for them to work with me, because they know that that's probably exactly who my audience is. So their product might see a lot of sales if I were to share it with you. Number two would be your expertise. Nowadays, everyone on the internet is an expert, but people who actually have solid evidence or proof and can show that they have actually learned and have maybe knowledge that not everyone else has about a certain topic automatically are going to be a level up from other creators who maybe say they know what they're doing, but you don't actually see proof of that. For example, maybe you're a food creator, but you also have a license as a nutritionist. That is automatically going to set you apart, because we know that you know what you're talking about, which usually means that your audience will trust you more, in turn, hopefully making more sales for a brand you might be working with. Next up will be your personality. And this, I think, is more important than ever, because there are so many creators and sometimes they all kind of feel the same. And so having a really bold or fun or funny or anything really type of personality that kind of stands out, I think is a great way to set yourself apart from really everyone else who's in your niche. And I would lastly say your authority, which can be kind of similar to your expertise, but authority in your space, I think, is things like maybe you've been featured in a really big podcast or a news outlet, maybe you write for a well-known outlet in your niche, etc. Those things can put you a level up from other creators, because again, it just proves that you are kind of like a go-to person in your niche. And that makes you even more valuable for a brand when they might want to work with you. So how can you actually use the internet to get the attention of maybe these brands that you want to work with? We're going to separate this into two kind of sections. One would be using socials, and one is going to be more of like using LinkedIn or emails. So let's first talk about socials. socials, using Instagram or using TikTok, etc. Number 1, strategic story replies. If you have a brand that you really want to work with and you don't have story or post notifications or both on for them, and you're not responding to their stories, commenting on their posts, I think it's a huge missed opportunity. Honestly, not a lot of people do this, and so it's a really easy way for you to stand out from the competition. Second, I would say cross-platform interaction. Most brands on Instagram and TikTok, I think, are seeing the most of their kind of customer interaction, but on places like Threads, for example, or Twitter, maybe these are places that brands are posting but seeing a lot less interaction. What a great way for you to kind of cut through the noise and go straight to being able to interact with the brand. And third, I would say actually showing the brand that you are already loyal. I know you don't want to post content for free, but sharing a really quick integrated Instagram story where you're sharing that one product really quick out of other products you really like, or maybe it's an integrated reel where you're sharing 5 things you bring in your beach bag and that product happens to be one of them. This is a really great way to start kind of tagging brands that maybe you want to work with that might not know that you exist already. So you're kind of getting your foot in the door without having to do the heavy lifting of like an entire dedicated post, because realistically that's what the brand should be paying for. Now, maybe you're connecting with the brand on email or on LinkedIn. There are some really fun ways that you can also stand out in a world of every cold pitch looking exactly the same. First, I would say sending maybe a mini audit to the brand. This is really bold, and I think that maybe it is a little touchy. However, I think it could be really cool and a really interesting way to stand out. Maybe you find a brand that has an amazing presence on Instagram, but it is like TikTok crickets happening over on TikTok. That might be a great opportunity for you to come in and say, hey, this is a missed opportunity. I know that it's a lot of work to be posting on multiple platforms. What if you had someone who created the content for you every month? What a beautiful way to get a retainer client where you can have kind of consistent income coming in every month. Second, I would say recording a really quick, maybe 60-second Loom intro to include in your email is a beautiful way to set you apart. I think especially if you're a creator who likes to talk or finds that you have like a really strong personality that doesn't come across on email as much as you'd like it to, send a Loom video in your message. You can also see when someone has viewed that. So it's a really nice opportunity to also see if they're reading your email and watching that video, so that you can see if they're actually paying attention. And number 3, another really creative idea is maybe to actually leverage podcasts or press features. Say you are reached out to by a podcast and you are going to be talking about digital products. Maybe you have a platform that you love hosting your digital products on. Wouldn't that be a great opportunity for you to shout out that platform as the one that you use, talk about why you love it, and then be able to share that with the brand later on and say, hey, like, I love you guys already. I'm already loyal to you. Here's an example of when I was talking about you on this big podcast. Such a cool way to set yourself apart. Moral of the story with all of this is it's really important that you're kind of having these small touch points with brands before you are maybe going in for a cold pitch, if you are going to do that, or maybe you're going to be using LinkedIn to connect with the brand. It feels a lot less aggressive and more genuine and organic for you to reach out after you've already shown the brand that you are a fan, you are a user, you are loyal. And so all of this can actually do the legwork of attracting the brand, but it also lays you a really nice foundation if you do end up having to manually reach out yourself. So all great options for you to play around with. If this has got you feeling a little overwhelmed or even really excited, you do not have to do this alone. In Soulcial Suite, my private creator community, we have over 150 other creators who are literally going through all the same things. Whether you need personalized feedback, you want to hang out with other creators for event session on Zoom, or you need to learn, and really educate yourself, Soulcial Suite is the membership that offers all of it. Not only do you have access to me literally whenever you need it, you have access to multiple other creator coaches as well as all the other creators in the community so that you can bounce ideas off of them, get support, and really kind of hear where everyone else is coming from so that you can learn from their experiences as well. If you want more information about Soulcial Suite, it's down in the description. But without further ado, I want to share with you my brand partnership rates because I know that this can be difficult information to come by and potentially doesn't really feel like it gives you much guidance. So I want to talk to you today about my fair pricing method, which is what I actually use to calculate my rates. So the fair pricing worksheet is down below in the description for free. You can download it and calculate your rate just as I did. But for me as a creator with about 26,000 followers at the time of this video on Instagram, I'm charging about $2,000 per reel. And this is a rate that I get paid frequently from brands without pushback. Over on TikTok, where maybe the weight of a follower is a little bit less than Instagram, I'm charging about $1,000 per video with about 29,000 followers at the time of this video. So you do not need to be a huge creator to be making really great money and content creation, and you can use the fair pricing worksheet to figure out exactly what that number could look like for you. I hope this video was super helpful. Can't wait to see all the brands that you guys attract, and I will see you next week.